As you gain clarity about your various stories, you gain clarity about your choices and what truly matters to you. Welcome to Mirror Your Magnificence. I am Carol T. Wilkinson. My guest, Hindi Stegman, shares through achieving clarity, we can have a more joyful, abundant, and empowered life. Hindi combines her intuitive gifts, the growing science of energy flow, ancient wisdom, and modern tools to enlighten people, homes, and businesses. Hindi, I'm curious, is it important to have clarity in our life?
Well, without clarity, you're stuck. Without clarity, you're going around in a circle. So in order to achieve anything that you want to achieve, you really do need clarity. And it's not just clarity of the mind. You need to have a clear mind, a clear body, and a clear home.
Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense. And why is clarity our engine for change?
Well, it's interesting that we use the word engine. Imagine a train. What leads the train? You have to have the engine. If the engine isn't working, or if it's working slowly, or even our car, let's talk about a car, the engine. Mm-hmm. If it's not working at full capacity, you're not going to get where you want to go. So in order to get where you want to go, to achieve what you want, to live that more peaceful, calm, enriched life, you need to have clarity. That's why I use clarity as the engine, because if the engine isn't working properly, the rest isn't working properly either.
And we have to make sure, we have to have it serviced, right? We have to keep it in proper condition.
Absolutely.
Right? So that we have that clarity. Makes sense.
Well, everything has to be serviced and kept in proper condition, right? Because one of the things about clarity is this. Imagine your garden, right? Mm-hmm. And it's overrun. It hasn't been pruned. You've got weeds. I was on a vacation a while ago and I was gone for a long time. And I came back to a jungle. And it was in the front of my house. And all I saw was the jungle. And every time I walked into the house, I said, Hindi, you've got to prune those trees. You've got to prune the trees. Okay. So it was day 1, day 2, day 3. And I was affected by the fact that I had this jungle in the front of my house. It wasn't welcoming. It wasn't empowering, right? So when I finally got up the energy, because by not having the pruning done, it really does affect your energy. And I went out and I cut everything. Oh my God. First of all, I have beautiful trees and plants, and I could see my whole house looked beautiful, right? And it's interesting what I'm about to say, because all the droppings and the cuttings were on my grass. And I said, oh my God, I had the energy to prune, right? Mm-hmm. But I just don't feel like picking up everything and putting in the trash can to throw it out. So sometimes you have to leave and walk away, because if you leave the prunings, then they dry up and it's a lot easier to put them into the trash can, right?
Yeah.
So the next day when I went out to put them into the trash can, lo and behold, the universe gave me a gift. The gardener came and picked it all up. So why am I telling this little story? Because we know we need clarity. We know we're stuck. We know we're not living our life's purpose. We know we want to make more money or have more better relationships. And we're looking at the weeds. We're looking at that overgrowth. And we're not doing anything about it. So by clearing the weeds, by pruning, all of a sudden, the universe also gives you a gift, and it's easy to move forward.
And is that how we go from feeling stuck to having clarity?
It's taking action is really important. But in order for you to take the action step, you have to be willing to actually, I call it looking at yourself naked in the mirror. You have to be willing to look at yourself naked and say, you know what, things are not going the way I want. I have some things that I need to improve upon. I want to have better relationships, or I want more peace and calm, or I want to make more money, all these things. But until we're not willing to stop, look in the mirror and say, what am I feeling? Being really truthful, then you're just still going to spin. You won't get the clarity, because in order to go from all that to clarity, besides all the other tools you're going to use, step number one is taking responsibility and looking at yourself naked. And liking or not liking, it's okay. You can start off not liking and then you'll get to like. But you have to be willing to look and really look and be honest with yourself.
Yes, so that's really thought-provoking, right? It really is. It gets you to think. So what are the benefits of knowing even our life's purpose through clarity, through getting clarity?
So I say, when there's an expression, it says, when the why is big enough, the how becomes easy.
Yeah, we hear that. Yeah, we hear that.
You've heard that before.
Yeah.
So what is the why? The why is your purpose at this present time. Now that changes, Carol. My why today is not what it was years ago. Today, I'm blessed. I have, grown grandchildren. I'm in a different place than I was years ago. So my why was different. But once you know you have clarity, you have a clear mind, you've looked at yourself naked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know your life's purpose, whether it's to get your children into the best school, whether it's to have a better relationship, whatever it is, it's your life's purpose right now. Without not getting clarity, you're going to be spinning your wheels. So again, we want to make life easy. And so in order to do that and have the calmness, the peace, the ease, you need to have clarity.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, how it's different today than it was, because I find myself in a different place where I'm expanding my why and my purpose. And you get even clearer as you're going along, right? Absolutely.
But in order to get clearer as you go along, it doesn't happen by osmosis. We have to put the work in. We have to do something. We have to take action steps in order to make that happen. We can wish it, we can want it, but without doing the work, and let's cancel the word work. It's not work, but without doing something every single day and being consistent, you won't gain the clarity. You might have some clarity today and tomorrow, but if you don't clear and continue doing daily rituals, you're going to get stuck all over again.
Yes, when you mentioned the analogy of the train, and we have the engine, right? And as we're going along, as you're talking about, we're different than today. Being like in the train is like going to a different stop, and then it stops, and then we go to the next stop. And that's the action, going on the train, doing the next stop, and going to the next stop. Right?
Absolutely. And on every stop, you get to see the beauty of nature, the beauty of you know, animals, trees. There's so much out there. You can be on that train, Carol, and see nothing also. Because when you're not in a place of clarity, how often do you don't see the beauty that's right in front of you? It's right there.
Yeah.
And yet you're blind. You don't see.
Yes.
So
Like
clarity is so
yeah, like, oh, I'm sorry for interrupting there because I want you to continue. But it's like the train is going so fast that it passes you. You don't see it so quickly. You
That's
don't see
right.
it so clear because it's going so fast.
That's right. Yes. Yes. And so the reason I like to use the word train is, you know, I think I can, I think I can, I know I can, I know I can. So to me, the analogy of that caboose, you know, moving forward, that's what we are. We're a work in progress, right?
Yes.
We're not stagnant. Every day we have an opportunity, though, to start again. So if we're feeling stuck and we're not clear, that's okay, because at any moment we can choose to change that, right?
Great. I love that analogy. I love that. It makes more sense. It clarifies things, right? So what is the one tool that we can use to have more clarity?
Well, one of the tools that I can suggest is I have an amazing book, which I don't know if you can see. It's a daily journal, and you can't see it, but it's called Getting Clarity, A Life of Purpose. And every day there is a wonderful saying and a prompt for you to take you on your journey. It's so important. When I talked about rituals before, having a daily journal, whether it's mine or anyone's, or just journaling without a daily journal. The reason I like having this is it really helps us center, and it triggers questions for you to work through to get you on your path. But it's so important to have daily rituals. So working in the journal is a great thing. Using a journal, using tools like gratitude, meditation, listening to music. Music is so important. You know, it totally shifts our vibration, right? So dancing, get up and dance, sing, but clear from where you are to where you want to go. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense. So your why matters, and it's there's benefits of knowing your life's purpose. And is that in the book? Is that what's in the book?
It all there's a culmination. As you're going through it, you will discover, yes, what your why is and what your purpose is, and you'll have clarity, which will really help to empower you. Everything that I do when I work with people, it's all about empowerment, right? Mm-hmm. And there's many things. So focusing on the mind is one aspect. What about our body? We need to drink more water. We need to cleanse occasionally. We need to know what we're putting into our body, because otherwise our mind, we're trying to clear our mind, right? We're trying to be in that grateful place. And yet it's clogged up with all kinds of things that are not supporting our body. So what we do and how we feed our body is really important as well. Along with that is our home. So if you live in a cluttered home with stagnant energy, right? So, okay, I wake up today and I say, this is it. I'm going to change my life. I want to get clarity. I want to move forward. I look in the mirror. I see myself. Great. I'm going to start my daily rituals. So I'm doing my daily rituals, and I'm moving forward and backward and forward and backward. And I don't know why. Like, what is going on here? Why am I not getting the shift that I'm looking for? Well, if you're living in a home that is cluttered, that has dense energy, the energy hasn't been cleared, maybe you've been depressed or sad, or there's been sickness, it's so critical to have a high vibrational home that is energetically clean. And I know for some people, these words may not mean anything to you, but imagine when if you've ever had a cleaning person come in and clean your home, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you walk out and then you come into the house. Oh my God, does that feel good? There's clarity all of a sudden. There's joy, right? So for me, it's all a package. It's not just one thing. You have to look at what are your daily rituals, and maybe part of your daily rituals is organizing, cleaning your clutter, cleaning the energy of your space. And if you really, really feel stuck and you know you want to change, you can always contact me and I'll help you in those areas so you can give yourself a kick in the ass and then move forward.
I know for me, every day I have to make my bed.
Yes.
And put on my pillows on my bed. If I don't do that, it's like a weight on my shoulders. And it just, or if my furry boys, they put their toys all over the living room floor and I pick them up and put it in their toy box. It's such a difference than just seeing these things laying on the floor versus that it's a nice clear area. So it does affect your
well, it's so critical because, you know, when I work with clients so often, they say, Hindi, I tried this and I tried that. And I went to see a therapist and I this and I that. But they didn't realize that they were doing themselves a disservice by not having their home with an optimal energy and clutter free. I will keep repeating it over and over and over again because everything is energy, right, Carol? Everything is energy. And so we want to work and live at our highest vibration to have the most joy that we can in our life. And what does everybody want? They want peace and calm. They want to be able to sleep better. They want to be able to have more passion. They want to feel better, right? Yeah. Well, you can't have those things if your mind is cluttered, if your house is cluttered, and if your body is stagnant and cluttered.
And we want a working engine.
A working engine,
for
right?
Clarity, yes. Well, today, how can we connect with you?
So the easiest thing is to go on my web card, and it's real simple. It's Hindi. Hindy, and if your spell check comes up because you put a Y and they want to do an I at the end, no, it's Y, Hindi, HINDY.net. All right, they can make an appointment with me for a 15-minute free consultation. They can see all my books that I have because I have many, and they can order that with a direct link to Amazon, right?
And the book you have also is, well, one of the books is Getting Clarity, A Life of Purpose.
Right. So one of the journals I have is Getting Clarity, A Life of Purpose. There's one to help empower you, many, many different things. I've been on this journey a long time, Carol, and I'm so blessed that I've been able to help so many people in so many different ways. So if you want to find out more about me, HINDY.net. And you'll get to see a little bit more. You can make an appointment for a 15-minute free consult, right? And you can click and order my book.
Well, Hindi, today you showed us how you mirror your magnificence. I'm Carol T. Wilkinson. Visit my website, mirroryourmagnificence.com, and you'll receive 7 ways to magnify magnificence. And join me and my great lineup of guests every Monday at 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. And you have a magnificent day.